Good afternoon, everybody. Amanda Roberts is here with me today, and
Hello.
we're going to talk about the dreaded pollen allergies.
Yes. I
So-
moved from California. Nothing blooms there to
Right.
Georgia.
Mhm.
Everything blooms here. So
So one of the big things with the allergies is, they're here because your car's full of yellow pollen. So I approach it when people say, "Oh, I'm in Georgia and it doesn't bother me at all," and then I know their gut's a little more healthy than other people, because any allergy for me, I always start up what's going on in the gut, and then from there, I call it peeling and healing. I start looking and uncovering things and correcting that, and then guess what? Next year's pollen's not so bad, but there is a really good product. I call it DHIS, and you load it, and it's like putting blockers on your nose so nothing gets in. And it really does work well. But Amanda has amazing oils from doTERRA that, when you're driving in the car, when you're in a meeting, things start acting up, you can address it right away.
Yeah.
What are some of those things that you like to use?
So my two favorite things to use, the first one is lavender because it's a plant medicine that is an antihistamine. So it works really quickly to help any of that itchy eyes or tightness that you might feel in your chest or in your nose. I get it a lot in my sinuses. So it'll help remove the histamine, right? Give you that good response for your body to fight. And then I also love to open up the airways because that's usually the main thing that people will see is that they're maybe congested or they're having some coughing or something. So there's a blend that doTERRA created. It's called Breathe, and it has a lot of the respiratory supportive essential oils, plant medicine that helps our bodies in an immediate need to respond and get some great relief immediately, like within 20 seconds. You use one drop because it's super powerful and you get great relief. So
we'll talk about the quality of air, because we're talking about pollen, we're talking about some allergies, but everyone knows that Georgia is very moldy. So you go out there, and when I had things tested, there was more mold outside than inside, which is good, but you know how much mold you're breathing in out there. So when you're looking at people that have a little mold sensitivity and then the allergies come out, we go right back to the same thing. Okay, what's their gut doing? What's their immune system doing? I really believe, and you agree with me with this, right? Really, if you know what's going on, you can correct what's going on. Chasing and symptom chasing and pill for problem is never a solution to anything. So in my practice, that's how I practice. I call it holistic detective.
Yeah.
Using all the tools that I have, blood work, exam, running all the things, the labs and everything that I can run to get to the cause and the problem. But I really love using my tools in combination of companies. That's why I wanted Amanda to come here today, because when someone comes in with a lot of allergy issues, we have to give them stuff, time being, to get them over the hump. I don't want them sitting there suffering, and then you get an infection, then it goes into a cold and bronchitis, and down the sick hole you go.
Yeah.
So I use standard process. I use some DHIS, and also another really good one, that an herb that I like is albizia. But I find a lot of things with doTERRA have a lot of those herbs in there too. So essential oils have them in there.
Yeah.
So depending on how the patient responds to each one of your supplements or the oils, that's what I give them. It's not just, hey, I have an allergy, and hand them something.
Yeah.
So what would you think that when your approach, I know you get phone calls and emails, and there are probably always little emergencies. Oh, my son's having an allergy attack.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you suggest for children? Because some herbs have to be, I would say, oiled down a little bit because their skin.
Sure, absolutely. And with kids and children, like children, pets, and elderly, because their skin has a little bit higher sensitivity, I always recommend, whenever you're using something potent like an essential oil, to dilute that down, especially for applying it to the skin topically. Because when you apply an essential oil to the skin, it takes about 20 seconds for it to absorb through the derma and get into the bloodstream. So we're affecting it at a cellular level. But when you're using it topically, sometimes people can have a little bit of sensitivity to the skin, especially things like peppermint or hotter oils like oregano and cinnamon. So diluting it down, I use fractionated coconut oil, which allows that to slowly absorb. You get a longer response, which is great. And then you have less likelihood of someone having any sort of sensitivity to a topical application. But all the essential oils are safe to use for all ages. It's just the way to use them, right? So
Right.
if we're going to use them
You can
topically,
ingest them, you put them on your
Absolutely.
skin. I like the skin part because that's quickest. Most
Right.
people, they put stuff on their body, say I'm putting lotion on, you don't realize, hey, that's getting in my liver.
yeah,
So that's why that's quickest to put that on. We love all the allergy choices that we have.
Mhm.
We're very flexible. We have a lot of tools and able to get to specifically that patient's problem.
right.
So I love that we were able to talk to Amanda today and how she uses her tools with doTERRA and how it applies in my practice and in her practice and what she does.
And
with
how it can
patients.
apply it in your life too, right?
Yes. You guys have a great day.
Bye.
We'll be back with some more great information.